welcome to Buckeye Readers Chat. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Talena.
And this month we're going to be talking about romance books because it's February.
Yeah.
Do you want to get started?
I would love to. So my first pick is actually Amanda Quick's Desire. This is one of, the first books I ever read. It was published in 1993, so I was shocked to see that it is still circulating and still on our shelves. It takes place on the Isle of Desire. It's about this lady who loses her dad and is forced to marry. So she wants to marry an intellect because she's a lady. And of course, she's forced to marry who she thinks of as a brute knight. And so it's the whole classic romance where she's the weak, soft one and he's like the hard, mean one. But in reality, that's not the case. They both have those characteristics in themselves and in each other. It's so good. I remember she's a perfumer, so there was like dried herbs everywhere and dried flowers, and for some reason that's what stuck with me. But I highly recommend it because it is the classic romance. It's obviously still popular, so it was a really good storyline to still be out there and people are still reading it, and I was just shocked that it was still on our shelves. So I'm going to reread it because I don't remember so many of the details.
I love that. I'll have to try that. All right. My first one is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales.
Love that
cover. Right. This is actually the third book in the series. This is just the one that we had on the shelf. This is classic academia. They study fairy lore, fairy tales, and whatnot. And it's a rivals. So the guy, he's actually a fairy. It's secret. And then the girl is his rival, and hijinks ensue. It's really cute and fluffy. They just have the best banter.
I love that. I love good banter.
The best.
It makes everything so good. Well, that sounds good. Almost as good as this one. So this is the Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi. This is actually book one. This takes place in sort of a dystopian future where humans have developed powers sort of like X-Men. And this follows our main character, Juliet, who is captured. The book one starts with her being captured. And there's two sides, right? A faction that wants to use these powers for good, one that wants to use them for bad. And she doesn't know what's going on. And she's lost most of her family. So the books are really just about her journey and figuring out who she really is and what her past is, how she got to where she is, and what are these powers and how does she control them and use them because she can't control them really. And it's just so good. I love it so much. And there is definitely a romance throughout the entire thing. Not quite a love triangle. She starts with one, well, doesn't start, but ends up with one in the beginning, kind of has a love triangle in the middle, and ends up with someone else at the end. Spoiler alert. But it's just so good. I listened to it. And I think that the narrator really brought the book to life and really gave Juliet an incredible voice. So highly recommend listening to it as opposed to reading it, but I think either would be great.
I love that.
Yeah.
I actually have a contemporary romance. This is How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. This is actually the first book I ever read by her.
Oh, really?
I love her stuff because all of her characters have trauma of some kind. But instead of the classic, I have to fix you, you fix me, blah, blah, blah. They fix themselves before they come together. And they come together in a really natural way that they happen to fit. This one, she is afraid of flying. Her boyfriend at the time is trying to become a pilot. When he asks her to marry him, the worst happens and she ends up in the hospital. And he is just a complete and total jerk. And the nurse that gets assigned to her is like mean, grumpy, but he's being mean to her because he wants her to get better. Like it's the tough love sort of thing. They are just really cute together. And I just loved watching them grow because he has his own trauma in his past that he's working through. But it is just so cute.
Yeah, I love a good contemporary romance. That's new for me in romance, but I've been loving it. So I'll have to give her a try because I haven't read her yet. And my last one is actually my most recent read. It is Stacia Stark's We Who Will Die. This was an incredible, I think, take on vampire romantasy. So vampires are the ruling body, if you will. And the main character has a sick brother. She grows up like in the human side with not a lot of money. And so a vampire comes to her and says, I'll heal your brother if you come kill the emperor. If you compete in these gladiatorial games.
As you do.
Yeah, and she had already competed in the past and won something. They were different though, different games. So she says yes because she really wants to save her brother. So the book mostly is her at the palace in the Ludus, fighting in these trials and trying to stay alive. And there's so many twists. People are involved in things that I did not see coming, and I loved that so much. And there is a love story, but it is not the central part of the book, in my opinion. It's definitely a bonus part of it. But not central to it, and I think it'll be more important in book 2. But yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
That's nice sometimes.
Yeah, I can't wait
it's
for
not
book
like
2.
the main focus.
Yes.
Okay. This obviously is not a book.
What?
Shocker.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite read of last year, hands down.
Wow.
It is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. It is cozy, romantic-y, fluffy, just all around adorable. I love this so much. She's a librarian. Her best friend is a spider plant that talks.
Oh, of course.
There's unrest in the city that she's in, so they need to leave. She ends up going to the island that her parents used to live on. The cottage that she's in is just decrepit, falling apart. But the first night that she stays there, the guy down the way comes up to investigate because somebody's in the house and nobody's been in the house forever. Yeah. And so she wakes up and starts screaming because there's a strange man in the house. And then he starts screaming because she's screaming and everybody's screaming. And it's just the funniest introduction to a character I've read in a while. But it is really sweet because it's more of like a found community with romance. So I just really love that. It is so sweet and just adorable.
It looks very cozy.
I love it.
Love that. Well, I think we've got 6 really great options here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So thanks for joining us. We will be back next month with fairy tales, but before we go, if you also like to talk about books and you want to talk with other adults, we have Let's Talk About Books at the Coyote Library on the second Wednesdays of every month at 6 p.m. It is 19 and up. And what's great about Let's Talk About Books is you're literally talking about whatever you want to read. Even if you've read it 20 years ago or haven't read it yet, you just come and just talk about it with people. It is just a really great community.
So no set book, no book of the month.
No book of the month.
I love that. That's nice.
All right.
Great.
Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.